No escape! Let's light it up! Going? Final warning! Justice will prevail!
Here to play with me?
Shine down! Insolent. Now you shall perish!
Thank you for Add Astra.
Time to go to work.
Let's light it up! Teamwork is strength! Stop right there! Strike! Glory to the Shogun!
Shine down!
I'm getting sick of this place.
Why do they never miss? Shoot! I can't afford any more bandages. I'm going in! Final warning! Do not attempt to resist!
Illusion shattered!
Quiver! Let's light it up!
There is no escape!
Time to go to work.
Everybody stand! Stop right there! You asked for it! Strike! Storm the front!
Torn to oblivion!
You are not
Illusion.
time to go to work.
Teamwork is strength! Drop your weapons! Hands where I can see!
Inazuma shines eternal!
You are not welcome
Let's
here.
light it up! I'm going in! Stop right there!
Flash! No turning back! Now you shall perish!
We'll meet again. Regret.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
Wow, the academia sure is busy during the day. But where should we go look?
Traveler, Paimon.
Sino! It's been so long since we...
Welcome back to Sumeru City. So.
Oh, nothing in
Fun.
Really?
Indeed. You really want me to say the rest? Okay. It's always rice to meet stew again.
Oh, darn, he said it.
You like that one, huh? You must if you remember it after all this time. Admit the truth. You have long been in awe of my razor-sharp wit.
All right. Here's your 500 Mora.
You're exaggerating. It's only 500 Mora.
Hey, 500 Mora is still a lot of snacks to Paimon.
All right. I'll treat you to some desserts later. Anyway, I'm actually investigating a case right now. My mind is focused on work, which is why I didn't complete the joke at first.
A case? What happened?
Nothing major. But after finding out who was involved, I decided, on reflection, to handle this one myself.
Need any help? We only came here to hang out, so we've got the time. You may as well take us with you, and then when you're done, we can,
Such enthusiasm. Are you worried I'll forget about treating you to some sweets if you're not around to remind me?
What? No! All right, was it really that obvious?
Obvious enough. Still, it's a fine idea. You are the heroes of Sumeru. It makes perfect sense to work together. All right, follow me.
The world remains constant over the centuries. But human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
Do you see him? The old man flailing around?
Oh, is he the one you wanted to...
Correct. His name is Cyrus, a former Spontam.
Huh? Simon?
It's ridiculous. I'm just an old man who enjoys a spot of...
Professor, I've brought some friends.
Ah, Sino. Now who do we have? My goodness.
Wow!
I've told him about you before. That's right. Let me a couple of days...
A threat letter?
Exactly.
This is the letter in question.
Cyrus, I have unsecondly... Wow, they sure didn't...
Clearly, that's...
10 million. I'm just a single retiree with nothing to my name.
There were no witnesses. So currently the letter is all we've got. So, Traveler?
Paimon's ready!
All right, take a look. Very...
Another thing is, some of...
Possibly.
Most of the paper around.
It's certainly not...
So do... Wait! Check this! A colored...
Well, it's like we're thinking...
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
Arav. Ah, there he is.
Mahamatra Sino. Sir Cyrus. Ah, and the...
As such, Oh,
Oh, of course!
they do look like... Also,
Ah, of course.
Understood.
You have my...
one last thing.
Will do.
Great thinking, Sino. Yeah. Really?
The culprit's approach. Whatever happens, and crucially,
Huh? Wait, are you saying...
found you! You wrote the threat letter!
I don't know.
I sensed someone was watching us from the shadows the moment we entered the House of Dana. You managed to stay relatively well. There are a lot of people here, but we were looking specifically for Arav. You smiled.
Is smiling a...
There are coffee stains on the left. Closing off the egg. The cafe.
You can't pin this on...
Really? The innocent have no... Your heart's rate.
I would never...
Don't try anything or you'll pay the price. Now come with...
Well, that was over...
You're telling me. 1 minute ago, looked like a...
Everyone, it's all over.
Gosh, that was...
The culprit's name is Raka, a 16-year-old student in the Rataoish Darshan.
Huh?
16? Cyrus thought he looked 30-something!
We checked his records. He's 16, a third-year student.
But he looks so old.
Yeah, seriously.
Foolish child. He's too young for the criminal life. What the devil drove him down this path?
We questioned the culprit regarding his motives. He...
Oh, just spit it out. Nothing can surprise me at this point.
Very well. It's our understanding that Araka is a mediocre student who has been underperforming in his classes. He started taking extra tutoring to improve his grades, but developed a gambling habit around the same time and lost a lot of mora. Down on his luck, he went to the tavern for a drink and overheard some people chatting about Sir Cyrus's comfortable retirement. They mentioned that he's always arguing about his tomato plants with some old woman on the street.
Some old woman on the street? Goodness gracious. Has that rascal attended a single one of his classes? That old woman is Kasharwar's very own professor, Zaha Hadi. How can he not know who Zaha Hadi is?
Is this going somewhere?
Oh, right, yes. So another thing. We don't just argue about tomato plants. And what are they trying to insinuate by comfortable retirement? A man grows a few vegetables and suddenly he's living a life of luxury?
Maybe it's more the fact that you have the time to grow vegetables in the first place.
Araka mentioned he'd heard a rumor, alleging that Sir Cyrus illegally obtained a large sum of money from the desert before retiring and kept it for himself instead of reporting it to the academia. Araka believes this money to be the reason why Sir Cyrus hasn't kept up with any academic research or other projects since his retirement. And given your advanced age, he thought you'd be an easy target to blackmail.
Oh, Araka. I'm at a loss for words. I'm so angry I don't know where to start.
People make up rumors all the time. I am quite confident that Professor Cyrus has never embezzled a...
Arav, you'll have to find some excuse to interrogate Araka again later. I need you to deliver a few firm fistfuls to him on my behalf.
I completely understand how you feel, Sir Cyrus, but I'm afraid that course of action goes against the Matra's principles.
Professor, there's no need to be childish about this.
Oh, come on. I was clearly joking.
Okay.
The academia will determine the appropriate disciplinary action against the student. And as for the individuals spreading rumors about the professor's obsession with tomatoes and some old woman on the street, there could be a slander case here. The Matra will continue to investigate.
Who said I'm obsessed with some old woman on the street? Mind your wording or you'll start a whole new rumor. You seem confused. Oh, don't you understand? Uraka is just a young boy who made a very rash and very stupid decision based on some groundless rumor he heard. Besides, I didn't actually hand over any Mora to him. The whole thing sounds a lot worse than it is. All it costs me is a little reputational damage. That's all.
Please rest assured, Professor, that the Academia will issue a fair and reasonable punishment.
Yes, I have no doubt about that. But as a former educator, I'd still like to have a serious conversation with the boy's parents. Their family lives in the city, yes?
Correct.
We looked into the family. Both parents are merchants and they're often away on business. They've never taken much of an active role in their children's lives.
Oh, what a mess. You don't have to seal the evidence away yet, do you? I'd like to have that letter back for the time being, if possible. I need something concrete for when I talk to the family tonight. We have to show them how serious this situation is.
The relevant authorities have already reviewed the...
Oh.
Give or take.
Very good.
My apologies.
And...
Wait, you mean Tiny?
He is. Tainari's master, Sir Nephis, called him... Though I must say...
Don't be outraged. Anyway, go on now. Not to brag, but we never had problems like this at Ratawa Hist back when I was still teaching. And if you don't want to take my word for it, you can ask them. They were students at the time. They'll tell you what it was like, won't they?
I was out in the forest at least 4 days a week back then, thanks to a colossal workload from Master. It wrought havoc on my poor tail, so I didn't exactly keep up to date with what was going on at the Academia. Most of what I know, I heard from Sino after the fact.
Professor's become a lot more laid back in his retirement. He used to be far stricter, and was especially known for being extremely principled.
Wow. It's hard enough to stay true to your principles as a normal person. I can't imagine doing that as a sage.
It's a pity Kale wasn't around at the time. I would have happily taken her on as a student.
And then we'd have one more person who has to address Lisa as upper-class woman.
Really? Can't you just call her Lisa? She seems to prefer it when people treat her like an older sister.
Oh, believe me, back when she was a student, nothing made her happier than the younger students acknowledging her seniority.
Whoa, more food? Are you sure about this? We don't want to take advantage.
Oh, don't worry about it. Order whatever you like. And if it's not enough, order some more. After all your help today, treating you to dinner is the least I can do.
I thought I heard some familiar voices. Ah, and Sir Cyrus is here as well.
Oh, Kaveh, it's been a while. Zahahadi was talking about you last month. How have you been?
I've been all right, thank you. You're looking very well, sir. I'm glad to see it.
Have you eaten yet? Care to join us?
That's awfully kind of you, but I had a late lunch, so I'm not really hungry just yet. I'll have dinner a little bit later tonight. I just came to Lombard's to buy some wine, and when I heard some voices I recognized, I thought I'd come and say hello. So what's the occasion, anyway? Some sort of celebration?
Consolation, more like. You wouldn't believe the day I've had.
Sounds like things have really gone downhill since I was there. My whole time as a student, I've never heard of anything remotely like that.
I can't believe how young the guy is. What are his parents going to think?
Young people are always more susceptible to making rash and ill-advised decisions. Their minds are still developing. It's just an unfortunate fact of life. But still, this boy has some nerve. Just look at what he wrote. Oh, it makes my blood boil.
Wow, yeah. Jeez.
I will always be watching you and all of your secrets. And then he just followed you into the house of Dana?
If this were my son, he'd get the scolding of a lifetime. Oh.
Luckily.
Kaveh!
Come. I'll have to get...
Okay, bye-bye!
Here I am. The coffee beans are in here, too.
Yep, it's all there. I'll stop babbling.
Oh, chew taste.
Oh, mine too.
Thanks for dinner, Sir Cyrus.
Well, I look forward to that. In fact,
No problem.
I'll see you all later.
Good night, Professor.
Hey, anyway, I'll be leaving now. Don't stay up too late now, children. I bid you all...
Take care, have a safe...
All right.
What do you mean,
Well, I was talking...
camping? Oh, that sounds fun! Pirates in! Right? It's...
Everyone, no need to bring anything.
You got it!
Great.
Time to set off! Let's head to the southeast of... We're here! Wow, you guys are ahead of the game. You set up the tents already.
I'd say we're right.
Traveler, Paimon, let's go fishing together. Whatever. You got it. Dinner's on us tonight. I hope I can contribute too. The other forest watchers gave me some fishing tips a little while.
I saw some very appetizing mushrooms in the area, so I gathered.
Wow, camping with a forest watcher is the way to go. They think of everything.
This is true. I don't think I've ever had a single rough day in this forest.
So? I see. Oh, in that case, you should try a valberry. I bought some from the market this morning.
A valuable suggestion.
All I wanted.
Oh, I have a sudden craving for fruit tea. I'm gonna go fetch some stuff.
She sure made a run for it.
Unbelievable.
So Kale chose the path of tactical retreat. My dear friend, you... Excellent!
We got a bite!
I'll reel it in.
Firewood. There are 3 tents. Which one do you two want to take?
How about the one on the left? Well, Paimon just...
True.
What?
Anyone would think.
Excellent.
I'm back! How's your appetites? Ready for the barbecue? Always. Oh, it smells so good. Paimon's drooling.
Someone sure is.
Wait, what? Hey, if it works for steak, maybe...
Medium well for me.
Okay, these are about ready now then. It'll be a few more minutes for anyone.
Oh, that was so... I ate a lot too.
If you're tired, then go rest.
You must be getting sleepy too, Paimon. Why don't you guys head to your tents? Sino and I will clean up.
Tonight I show you.
Good night. Paimon's struggling to keep her eyes open.
Oh, don't forget this. The staff of the Scarlet Sands.
Wait, you were actually being serious about that?
It's a very powerful...
Paimon can't even...
Fair enough.
Yeah, Paimon's sure. We'll be fine. And even if we do get an...
That reminds me of a... But right now... I think they should all... Traveler?
Look at this.
What the... What's this sword doing here? Is it supposed...
Evidently.
Paimon's gonna take out the sword. Yeah! Oh, hey, them.
Sorry to wake you up at this.
Let's get dressed and talk about it outside.
Something has come up. And since it pertains to Cyrus...
Whoa, back up. Let's start from the beginning. Where'd the... Ah, there they are.
I'll have a cup too.
Can you see if the cookies...
They are.
And... Oh, this is so bland. I should have gotten a few...
Do tell. What were they?
Oh, right, I forgot to mention. So, I ran into Cyrus yesterday evening. Anyway, they got a bottle of Lombard's new vintage for the table. You know what it's about, right?
I heard some...
I wonder what Sir Neff... Oh, Cyrus. Give me a sec. I'll sketch it out for you. Okay, done. Take a look. You see what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen... What?
Take this, for instance. Looks like an out... It bears a strike...
Whose emblem is...
It's the emblem.
After discussing it with this was a long way to come from the city. Alhaitham figured you were probably with Tainari, so Gandharvaville was our first stop. But the Forest Watchers told us that you'd gone camping. Then, just as we were heading off to the campsite, we ran into Sino. He said he was on a supply run. We exchanged a few words, and then he ran off.
Hold on. So what's the deal with that emblem you were talking about? The Temple of Silence, you said? What is that? Should we be worried?
Something's up, huh? Give me a second. Let me get Kale.
So you've never heard of the Temple of Silence? Well, to put it simply, it's an organization that has existed in Sumeru for over 1,000 years. These days, you can find a Temple of Silence office in the academia. Theoretically, it's responsible for the custody and disposal of information and documents not fit for public dissemination. At least, that's what they tell the outside world. In truth, it's essentially a vestigial institution nowadays. There's an office with their name on it, but it's functionally obsolete. Historically speaking, by contrast, none of the Academia Temple's current...
So the Temple of Silence...
It's possible.
So, how do you know all this?
Did you forget? He did a stint as...
Oh, yeah!
If you're asking...
So much about this doesn't make sense. Why did the emblem of the temple... The student's only 16?
You said you ran into Sino.
Yep. He ran...
Given that Cyrus is involved...
If the Academia's Temple of Silence really does exist just to cover up the truth, we should...
Yes.
If this situation is connected...
Kale, could I trouble you to send a traveler, Paimon?
Sounds like a plan.
Cyrus has been living in the city lately. He rented a place near the field so he can keep an eye on his tomato plants.
We might be too late. Looks like nobody's home. Oh, Sino moves fast. If he was here, he's probably long gone by now.
I know that voice. Is that Tainari I hear?
Ah! Professor Zahahadi!
Wow, so it really is you. My goodness, whatever is going on tonight?
We're looking for Sino. So, he's already been here.
Yes, not long ago, in fact. He knocked on my door and asked if I'd seen Cyrus today at all. I told him the old fool left early this morning, and I hadn't heard him come back. So we went to his place, and would you believe it? He's gone. Goodness knows where to. It must have alarmed Sino, because he took off in an awful hurry after that. He never did explain what this was all about. How serious is it?
Well, if Cyrus isn't at home... Oh, it sure doesn't sound good.
Professor, did you hear that a student recently tried to extort Cyrus?
Why, yes. When I left the house that day, I noticed he was watering his flowers in the field in complete silence. He had a piece of paper clutched in his hand, and he looked lost in thought. I could tell something was troubling him, but he wouldn't tell me what it was. If Sino hadn't happened to visit him that day, he'd probably still be holding on to that thing. After seeing the letter, Sino told him to contact the Corps of 30, but Cyrus was very reluctant. He claimed it would only damage his reputation. Eventually, he relented, after much persuasion from Sino.
Huh? Cyrus didn't want to report it? Well, that's strange. When we saw him, he seemed pretty okay with the idea of the kid getting his just desserts.
As a former sage, it's possible Cyrus still has enemies at the academia. That's why Sino was so insistent that he report the matter to the authorities. I was there while they were going back and forth over it.
So Cyrus initially hoped to stop this from going public. But why?
Oh dear, what on earth has that old fool gotten himself wrapped up in? Oh, I do hope he's not in danger. Oh, I almost forgot. Sino left me this letter to pass on to you. He wrote it when he came by earlier. He realized you might come looking for him.
Thank you.
What does it say? Let Paimon take a look! My friends, this is a rather complicated state of affair. Unfortunately, I cannot disclose more than that. I ask you to understand and accept that I had to act alone at this stage. Don't come after me.
Yep, that sounds like Sino. Thank you, Professor. Please do not worry. We will do all we can to protect both Sino and Cyrus. Traveler, Paimon, let's head to the academia and regroup.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever. The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever. All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging. The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
You're here? I thought you were going after...
We went to Cyrus's house.
He didn't say where he was...
No.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Typical Sino. Anyway, some updates on progress on our end.
I checked some ancient texts for a similar...
Yeah, and we're...
Meanwhile, Arav managed to get the one who told him about Cyrus's embezzled fund.
Apparently, the Uraka was in...
I see.
So, how do we...
He doesn't know.
Nephis and Arav also. The Temple of Silence felt that they could no longer trust the Academia ever since at its roots.
The Academia?
Not only...
So how did Cyrus...
I'll bet that's...
Whoever is behind...
He must have recognized...
Since the desert is...
I have to go after...
Really?
I should be fine.
Everyone, I have news from the Corps of 30.
Master!
Oh, so that's Nafis.
It's a pleasure to meet several independent... I was going to say... The Academia has... I won't attempt...
I understand.
Good point.
Need our help?
Really? Arav and I will... Tainari.
I am. Kaveh, I'll be okay.
Well, if you're...
Thank you all. Arav, let's go.
You'd better get moving. Don't forget to ask for help when you...
Will do. Let's go, Tainari. Hopefully we can...
Knowing him, he's
Okay, we made it to Caravan Ribat. Maybe we should ask the...
Hold on.
Is that Dia?
You sure?
It's not my first...
Sino.
If you're really going...
Makes sense.
Thought we might find you here. You're trying to retrace Cyrus's steps, aren't you?
Sorry.
Nothing personal. It's just...
But why so coy today, huh? You only gave us his aid. Oh, also, hey guys, it's been a...
Dia and
You're looking well. Glad to see it. Candace and I came to Caravan. Some people say they saw him. Guess he stood out as an older guy heading into the That's gotta be one heck...
Sino. It's okay if you can't tell. We're here to help out.
No.
We spoke with Zahad.
Sounds like this.
Still, if... come on. All right.
Yes. Well...
All right.
And don't think you...
Don't worry, we'll keep...
Hold on. There's a few things I'd like to clear. So, after you left the camp...
Clearly, we've only scratched the surface of the Temple of Silence question. It doesn't surprise me at all that the one in the Academia is a fake.
Do you have any connection with the Temple of Silence?
I do. I trust you're all aware of the spirit that gives me my power. Hermanubis, the original founder of the Temple of Silence. Due to my unique constitution, I was put through a number of trials in the desert when I was younger. Later, I met the professor, and he brought me to Sumeru City. But my memory of that time is hazy. I can't recall much. It's a good thing that Kaveh noticed the emblem on the letter. Without that, I don't know if we would have connected the dots and realized there was more to this case than mere extortion. I did not recognize that symbol at all. Whether that's because I've never seen it, or because my memory fails me, it's hard.
Yeah, you're right. Thank goodness.
But Cyrus must have
I suspect so.
Well, speaking of avoiding...
Or rather...
That's right. Fact is, we're coming.
Fair enough.
Works for me. All right, off we go. Let's start by seeing what the guards here can tell us.
Hello.
Mahamatra.
I'm looking for some... Where was he going?
Let me think. Do you have a...
I have one.
Great. There you go.
Thank you so much. You were a great help.
You've got a really good...
You're... Best of luck.
Clear skies can do nothing to hide the brill.
Hold on. Nice.
Do you think it's safe to act?
Should be. I'll go...
No. I'll do it.
Huh? Why can't Sino go?
Give him my back.
Hello there.
Oh, a missing person, huh?
I'm just wondering if...
So, Silver...
He'd stand out like...
Yeah, sounds...
He's looking back.
Uh-oh.
Your friend over... Hey! Aren't you so...
Yes.
You don't seem...
It wouldn't be the...
Oh, you're...
I have a bad feeling.
No need to hide it.
I thought you were...
You're...
Hey!
Suits me. Just cut to the chase.
Come with me. All of you. Don't you want to find your silver hair?
So you know where he...
Just follow me. And?
What? Where are you looking?
Please, step back.
Whoa! Something's coming out of the ground!
What is this enormous building doing here?
And how was it so well...
Wait, so...
Is this...
All?
I'm scared. They must have kidnapped Cyrus. Do you think this is the guy?
What's wrong? Thinking about your professor?
I just hope for your sake you have...
Me too. All right. You can wait here for now. I'll inform our leader that you've arrived at the Temple of Silence.
So he's just gonna leave us here?
They can't have been at the...
So this is the Temple of Silence. After leaving the...
Hey, look! That guy's coming back.
Don't worry. Someone will come and call...
What's your name?
My name is...
So we're...
Yep. Cyrus is...
I never imagined...
That's King Deshret's...
We should beware...
Hey!
Sure. Although, I'm assuming by chat, not often. The Temple of Silence is a place of quiet and solitude. Yes, he insisted...
So you
No. That's not entire... Of course.
Why did Cyrus leave?
You'll have to ask. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem. Mm-hmm. Here he is. Grandfather, the person you wish to see is here.
Well done, Sethos. Greetings, one...
Professor!
Cyrus!
Watch what you're...
Oh, my. Cyrus...
Just leaves.
So that's what...
Some things...
Sino did...
My secret.
You're afraid. You recognize... You knew as soon as you saw the letter that we, not Uraka, were the ones speaking to you. It threatened you only because you know what you did. For you... But then, we both know what I said to you that day. That as the leader, I grant you permission to leave, but that one day, the sands of time will catch up with you. And when that day comes, you must pay the price you owe.
Hermanubis.
Does he mean...
The moon is right. He rescued me from the brink of death once, many years ago in the desert. When he learned that I was Bamoon proposed... one other child...
For many years, the Temple of Silence had been in possession of two The test subjects were the original plan as the second... But as I was deliberating, both are to preserve our...
Ultimately...
In recognition of... I have always...
I see.
Look, in essence I borrowed your but you can...
I'm sure you don't... You and he... As a follower of Hermanubis, I have allowed this power to remain in the rainforest for far too long. Now, it is time to...
That power is not yours.
You are wrong. Cyno was chosen.
So those are your
Despise me all you want.
So what you're saying...
Divine power...
He is no longer a small child. But
Both my heart and...
Don't listen.
I know.
Sorry to interrupt. Say that Cyno refuses to return his power. You're trying to gauge where we stand while
Wait. Everything we have longed for, Hermanubis will provide. Perhaps this very day we'll...
Why is he coughing?
A moon.
Take our leader back to his room. Grandfather. I don't like to drag out... Had Cyrus not... Still. It's no use talking about what-ifs. I'm not like... But I see things a little differently. So I'm not going to...
I just... And things would...
If you hadn't betrayed my grandfather...
Tainari made a good... All you ultimately...
I'm glad to see you're giving it some serious...
I won't forsake my professor.
That works. Oh, my
Are you sure about...
I need to...
All right, well...
I've taken some time to reflect on this. If I had to guess, Professor Cyrus came to the desert knowing that he would almost certainly never return. He's a stubborn man who tends to double down when he feels strongly about something. We won't get anywhere trying to convince him to escape.
I agree. My master Nephis says the same thing. Once Cyrus makes up his mind about something, he won't listen to reason.
So that's one thing. A few other things come to mind too. You've heard all you need to hear about the Temple of Silence. So on that, I don't have anything to add. My own memories of this place are hazy though. Probably something to do with the overpowering presence of the Ba fragments. That might explain why I suffered from constant headaches and fevers as a child. I do remember having there was a strong will inside my mind. Thinking back on it now, I suppose it was Hermanubis' way of trying to encourage me, even if we couldn't communicate. The power that came to inhabit my spirit was probably one of the cornerstones of their whole faith. So if the will and might of Hermanubis is a real, intangible thing, and they are its rightful worshippers, then...
You're not gonna give in to their demands, are you? Surely there has to be another way!
No. So I will challenge them head on.
Kaveh has made similar observations about the desert tribes from his work trips there. He says many of them... I think we could turn that to our advantage.
Wow!
Looks like we have the same... Turn it back on them now while we still can.
Great.
Sethos.
Have you made up your mind?
We'll get to that.
I have no objection. Follow me. Keep your voices down.
Let's talk. Bamoon has fallen into a deep coma, and he appears to regretfully.
Yeah.
You're his heir, aren't you? You clearly have a lot of... So tell me...
Yeah, there's no time.
You know?
Right.
You're right. I accept. Legend has it, that group...
Sounds very fit.
As a fellow vet...
3 against...
However, letting Cyrus leave...
None needed. If I win, the Temple of Silence... If you win...
It's a deal.
Well, after...
There never was.
You have to win.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. When you...
Exactly.
The Traveler and I?
And neither. The desert was home to an ancient and great civilization that for a variety of reasons. But there must be personal factors at work here too. I can't shake the feeling that Bamoon cares for many more things than he lets on.
We gather on... This is our represent...
Grandfather, you're here.
A rite of duels after...
I know what I'm doing.
Representing the Academia...
Ready.
Warriors, we come not to debate what brings our challengers here.
Huh? Are you sure?
I agree. He's very strong.
Okay, then...
Sure.
We have decided.
So have we.
Duelists of the first bout, please step forward.
Don't forget, safety first! Hey, you there! You better play nice with him or Paimon will make you regret it!
Little bit too much chatter from the audience over there.
Hey!
Propagate!
A swift end to the first bout. When you're both ready...
Let's begin.
Watch out!
He drank plenty of water before the bout, so he should be fine.
Shroud! Yeah.
the butt.
Thus ends the...
I'm ready.
So am I.
This is the final. When you're both...
For many years, we have kept our covenant with Lord Hermanubis. We earnestly now. I will
I am Sino, General, and you. I think you left some things unsaid. This is a sacred duel. And Herman...
Everyone. My grandfather. But our faith has... Times have changed. Then I thought of each I once thought...
I am more than...
Exactly. The name Hermanubis has left its mark on both of us. So show me your answer, Sino. Show me I can be more than my... Bring it on!
That's all you've got? What happened to searching for your answer?
Fight's over. Do you yield?
You won.
Well then, looks like you found your answer.
I give his glory to you.
I've seen that light. That is the light of our Lord, the great Hermanubis, priest over all other priests. His spirit dwells within that lightning, and his will lives on. Once a warrior of Tynar, he emerged from the barren desert sands to serve the god king Al-Ahmar. After the death of the god king, Hermanubis gathered his followers and the Tynarian priests and led them to the city of Tule-Tula. There, they founded the Temple of Silence, and from that day forth, we became stewards of all knowledge that survived from King Deshret's civilization. Barely a century passed before war ravaged the desert, One by one, Eremite leaders took up arms against each other in battles that would devour what little remained of their civilization. Only the wise city of Tule Tula was spared under the guiding hand of the Tainarians. But peace did not last. Coveting the knowledge of King Deshret, the beasts set their eyes on Tule Tula. The king of Gurabad laid siege to the city and ordered the sages to surrender to him the Temple of Silence as proof of his victory. The ruling elite colluded with their oppressors, betraying the temple so as to hold on to their rule over the city. They declared that the knowledge guarded by the temple was the true cause of corruption. These were dark days, and we faced enemies on all sides. Our lord had long since exhausted his strength, keeping the forbidden knowledge introduced by King Deshret at bay. To ensure the temple's continued survival, he broke his being into many pieces and began the ceremony of Hermanubis' legacy, bestowing his power upon his mortal followers. With this power, the temple was able to defeat the tyrant's army. Yet, we were not hailed as heroes. Strange and unfamiliar as this power was, it struck fear into the people's hearts and drove them to reject us. In the end, the people of the temple and the Tule Tula Tainarians left the city for good and made their way to the rainforest. What followed next was inevitable. The elite of Tule Tula fell and were decimated. War engulfed the desert. And we wandered from place to place, always in hiding, all the while keeping close watch over our secrets and staying true to our mission. Betrayal forced us out of the desert and into the forest. Then mistrust drove us from the forest into the desert once more. We have lived in exile for far, far too long. Yet, today, the Temple of Silence has borne witness to the glory of Hermanubis once more. Thank you.
How is it? Did you...
Grandfather.
I did foresee this, Sethos. Were it not for this I do.
Still.
Well, Sethos.
But...
No, that's a much bigger...
I will try.
Actually, that way, no matter had you won, and were I to... He knew that the temple's... His plan meant that...
And here I thought the General Mahamatra wouldn't care for all these. You're absolutely right. Thank you for everything, Sino. The Temple of Silence, but you must be... By the way, Tainari, the story goes that King Deshret chose the sage. He went on to fight many the Tainarians who... In all likelihood...
How fascinating.
I like this story.
Yes.
If it's true...
Someone's got to make the... I will make a detailed report on all of this. I'm sure you'll have lots to attend to if we're going to work together.
I will. All right.
See you soon. Come hang out with us,
What were you thinking, Gela?
Oh, please.
What do you mean, what other? A one-man suicide mission,
All right. What do you mean? Okay, look.
Inari's master is really laying into Cyrus.
Wow. The last time each...
I think I'll go around and update everyone. We can go for dip.
Makes sense.
Paimon's coming to...
Hey, Kale.
You're back!
Well, look who we have here. Would you mind?
All taken care.
That does not when you run into problems.
Now would not be a good time to attack.
You're right.
It's not the first time that I've had to talk to you about this sort of thing either. You need to learn that there are times when the right thing to do is get a more experienced member of staff involved. Do I make myself clear? Because if you don't,
Kale, please do something.
He's giving me... Say, Madame Farzan, I can see you're pretty upset.
Huh? Wait, did I hear that right? Kale, you remember? Wonderful.
Poor Kale getting dragged off like that.
Kale! Cup.
Huh? What?
What do you mean, cup?
Oh, it's nothing. Just Master's way of reminding me to stay hydrated while I'm out and about.
It's code for let's reconvene at the cafe.
Oh,
2 people left. Am I
We're just reorganizing all the books we used.
There's no rush.
My sincere thanks.
Yes, with your...
I see.
And it sounds like they managed to...
That day will come. Now, as a token of my appreciation...
Yeah, sounds great.
Sure.
And then the Traveler just pounced on their opponent, and then there was Tainari. He put up an amazing fight too. We ended up winning all 3 bouts.
A truly
Hey, Paimon included all the juicy details. The Traveler just pounced and then waved their sword like this, then splintered.
Despite winning 3 bouts in a row, you still ceded the position of leader.
Of course. I got to be a champion too for once.
Yeah, huge place. It felt like something right out of an epic poem. Imagine this. It was like there was...
Maybe save that one.
I think that'll do me.
Shall we stop off at the House of Dana again?
My thoughts exactly. See you around.
I should get going as well. See you all later.
I need to go say thanks to the Core 30 for their help. Also, Sir Nephis says he wanted to introduce me to some of the Academia's work process.
Kali's come a long way.
Everyone's a work in progress, you never...
Yeah, true.
Life is all about these moments when you can finally relax and hang out with good friends after...
Do you 3 have any? If not, would you come somewhere with me? That's a secret.
Okay. I think I can guess what you're talking about.
Well, now Paimon's...
Been a while since I last made... Need any help?
It's a nice spot, isn't it?
What a great view! We're so high up!
Traveler, turn around. This is my secret base. When I was a student, back then, I had a lot of the same questions that Sethos was asking. Our gifts help us to find our...
You two really are like brothers.
I feel the same way.
I still remember one time when we came up here to chat and do our homework.
That was the one and only time. Nothing will ever slip through my...
Those...
You know...
Then make it... You get...
Okay.
Huh? Hey, you're...
Oh, my day.
Professor, what?
Sino. Just the man I'm looking for. Guess what I found in some old notebooks?
Some old photos?
Can you believe? I was at the Academia. Oh, time flies. Look how tiny you are in this.
You look quite young. Ah, it's this one. I remember.
Yep. Looks like her work, all right. Who else?
And this one.
Oh, cheeky.
Is there something you'd like to say to me, Professor?
Like what? Like... hey, at moments like this, I hardly know where to begin. I can't pretend I'm a good person. But Moon had every reason to despise me. And well, so do you if you... Oh, I've dreamt of that place many times after leaving the desert. Oh, you've matured so much over the years, I know.
Since you're my professor, I should save you some face by not calling you out on all the...
Good thinking. Take your own advice next time. Seriously, why bully an old man like me? Hey, wait, how did I not notice this one earlier? Look how cute you were.
Yeah.
Oh, Hey. All right, I'll add it to my schedule. Wait, no. Next week is the tomato growing competition. I have got to beat
Or you could find a...